In the last couple episodes, we worked on more power, we did heavy modular frames, and I have space elevator parts checked off. But we didn't do that. What does that mean? Well, I think you know what that means. I think it's time we submit Phase 3. I set up a temporary manufacturer. I just built these on the side. It's done. And now we can submit it. So we can get into tier 7 and 8. There we go. Let's send it off. Alright, so we're in phase 4. That's incredible. The other thing is, we haven't set up the space elevator parts for this one as a permanent factory. We'll need to do that before we do the phase 4 stuff. That'll come in a future episode. I wanted to send this off because there's one thing I wanted, and that is the hover pack. Because let me tell you, I've been working hard, I've been building a lot, and not having a hover pack really sucks. So, in tier 7, we have bauxite refinement, so we can start doing aluminum. Here's the hover pack. I think I have that. I think I have it. Mark 5 conveyor belts, that'll be really important. We'll have hazmat, which we can do. That'll be for uranium stuff. And then we'll be able to do sulfuric acid. We can make radio control units, supercomputers. And I think that's the first space elevator part. We don't even get the first space elevator part till the last milestone in tier 7, which is crazy. But we'll have a new machine as well, the blender. Ooh. Then in tier 8, we can start working on drones. That'll be cool. We could do some nuclear power. That'll be fun. Advanced aluminum production. We'll get these resource well pressurizers. And we'll go over that when we get there. Leading edge production. Oh, wow, that came out of my mouth really weird. Leading edge production. We'll get minor Mark 3s. And that's the third space elevator part. Nuclear power has the second space elevator part. And then particle enrichment. We'll get a new building here as well. A new machine. The particle accelerator. And that'll be the nuclear pasta as well. That'll be the last space elevator part. Plus we can also do plutonium. So this will be fun. But, like I said, I want the hover pack. So, I'll grab what I have. That's just computers, heavy modular frames, motors, all of the motors. And then, please tell me I have... I do. There you are. So I can submit this. And we can get a hover pack. Hopefully.
Milestone.
Definitely want one of these. Hopefully it doesn't require aluminum to actually construct one of these. Oh. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. The logical conclusion would be to give up and get it later. But I don't do that. I don't mess with that. We're gonna go find a crash pod with aluminum that I haven't picked up yet. Alright, so what I just did was not rational, but I did go out and find some more alkali aluminum sheets out in the world. We can make a hover pack. This takes 30 hits. That's insane. But good thing we only need to make one. Now, throw this on my back. As long as you have electricity, we can hover. And there we go. That is awesome. So the only limitation is you have to be within a certain radius of power, which makes sense. But yeah, Last episode we worked on the heavy modular frames, which is this whole entire factory over here. I spent 20 hours building like decent looking buildings around it. Some of them are better than others. Like this one I like. This one is still a work in progress. That one over there I mostly like. This one's pretty good. That one's my favorite. That one kind of stinks. I gotta redo some of that. But yeah, I've been working on this, trying to make it look better. But if we're down lower here, it actually looks really good down here. So we got the big iron ingot production. Here, that's the big building here. I do have an entrance now. So the entrance is down this little way here. Then we can come inside, and there everything is. I have these Roman arches with windows in there. So I think that looks pretty good. And I did the same thing over here. Some Roman arches. And then spots where I really couldn't put them. I guess I could have put one over here, but I didn't. It's not a big deal. I just put in windows, and then I have another entrance over here to nothing right now, but that'll be in the future. And if we come up top, which we gotta call the elevator for, like I said, not everything's finished yet, so we'll be working on it over time. I spent 20 hours already building and all this, so it's like, okay, I'm ready for another episode. I'm ready to get this started. But alright, so up here we have the like Greek and Roman columns, and I think that's pretty cool. The only thing I gotta work on is up top, so that's really it for this level. But yeah, otherwise I think it's pretty good. And then over here is the screw factory that we built in the last episode. I did a double peaked roof, and then I did a little jut out to the side there. So if we come over here, it's actually all glass. You can see down there. I think it's pretty cool. Comes out at a peak at like a point. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but otherwise it's pretty good. I like this. I did have a blue and orange building here, and it just didn't really look great. So I changed it to like a silver and orange, and it looked better. And then this one here is the rotors. This used to be yellow and black, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty ugly. So now it's kind of like a dark gray and black with a white roof. Looks a lot better. This is a pretty simple design here, but yeah, this is what it looks like. And then over here is the rods on the bottom floor, which this is a pretty simple design here. I mean, I guess it's a little more complicated than just a square building, but it's still pretty simple. So, and then you can look out in here in the courtyard. That's pretty cool. Now we can go upstairs, and that is where the heavy modular frames are being made, with a nice long staircase. And it's very similar to the one below. In fact, it's identical to the one to the floor below, except now we've got a big open window here that we can look out. So that's this building. Then the red and black building over here. My favorite one, because it's actually got peaks in it. The inside looks a lot better, and the outside looks really good. I like this one a lot. I gotta kind of focus on building these better. But this one does connect in here, which is plain and simple. But sometimes plain and simple is good too. The only thing that's not plain and simple was this wall over here. I did this kind of weird pattern with it, but I like it. And then we have a little walkway we can walk out onto. And we can look around. The train goes by, we can watch the train as it comes by. Then the other entrance is down here, which connects to the iron plates. But this right here, this Grottles and I were playing the game. We were playing on our own separate world, but we were showing each other what we were building. She built this fence-looking thing, and I loved it. So I built one myself. So this is just a bunch of industrial railings stacked on top of each other, which I didn't even realize you could do this, but it looks like chain fencing, and I love the look of this. Now I just have to figure out how to delete it. So it also makes for a really nice thin wall, so definitely use it, build it yourself if you can. But yeah, we come in here, a green building, super green. But yeah, that's basically the big factory that I've built so far. There's still a couple buildings I need to finish, like like this one over here, behind this building. It's hard to get around in here sometimes. So yeah, that building I still need to finish, and that building over there I still need to finish. So there's still some work to do, but I was kind of getting tired of it. I need to finish this one too. I was getting tired of it, so I was like, okay, perfect time to do another episode. So yeah, that's where we're at. I had also put on my checklist that the train system is done. And yeah, that is done. One of my viewers actually recommended a mod to me in Discord and said I should get the Cartograph mod. And what that does is basically shows on your map what you have built. And I have to thank AWOL for this, because great mod. I love this mod. This is amazing, but you can see the train lines. These green lines here are my trains. I built 4 train lines all around the map. If we look out here at our power plant, you can see how really close I got to the edge of the map. It was really close. But just look at how crazy that is. That's really cool though. I like it. Then you can see my belt line that I had to do. Yeah. Yeah, it was insane. This was a massive project. What I've been working on over here has been a massive project. This big, heavy modular frame megaplex. That was a massive project. The space elevator. Yeah. This has been fun though. I've enjoyed it. Then here's the building floating in the void. So I promised that I would do the smart storage system. But it's going to be pretty simplified how I explain it to you. So what I plan to do, and this is going to be broken into 2 episodes by the way. What I plan to do is I'm going to have a truck drop-off system. And I've set one of these up. So this right here is going to be our drop-off. So every item is going to get unloaded here. And we're going to send that up into our storage system. Now I also have a storage container here. The point of this one is we're actually also going to fuel all of our vehicles from this one too. So any vehicle that comes into here will get fueled up, and it'll drop everything off, and it'll get sorted, and anything extra will get sunk. I also have another docking station here. This is going to be the fueling station, if I can type correctly. So we'll have a truck come over here, drop off a ton of coal. It'll come over here and empty it. So what I did is I built a road to the coal that we were using for the coal power plant. I actually demolished the coal power plant because I didn't need it. after I built the turbo field, didn't need the coal power plant anymore, so I got rid of it. But I built this big road going up the hill. And my plan is we'll have 2 fuel delivery stations. I'm only going to use 1 for now. So not this episode, but the following episode, we'll set up trucks. I'll show you how to set up trucks. This episode, we're going to set up the storage system and get that ready for the trucks to actually start working. But yeah, so we're going to send coal here. And a truck will come by and pick it up and then drop it off at the other location. We'll grab coal from down there. And we'll do that in the next episode. I'll probably end up re-explaining this in the next episode. But, oh, this looks so cool, doesn't it? I love the look of this. Trying to build like a city, megalopolis, mega factory kind of thing. So this is going to be awesome. So yeah, next episode we'll set up trucks. But I just want to kind of explain how the system is going to work. So that coal truck will run this route and go around. And then the items that are getting picked up will run this route, go into here, run over here, and drop off. So that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. But for now, we actually need to set up the storage system. And I'll give you an example of how to set it up. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it's a lot. I'll just kind of provide an example. And then I will finish it, show you what it is, and we'll be good. So our truck drop-off system is right here. We're going to bring it up and bring it in here. What we need to do is pick our starting location. So our starting location is going to be here. This is where we're going to start, like iron plates or something. So if we go to our splitters, we need to go to smart splitter and ensure that that line is lined up, right? So we'll set down a smart splitter. And in here, we're going to do any is the center output. On the right is the item you want. So in this case, let's just say iron plates. We'll put iron plates in there. And then on the left is going to be overflow. So that's how the basic setup's going to be. So from here, you can actually copy it. And we can build as many as we can. Looks like I can only build 23 more. And I'll just build as many as I can. I'm going to have to handcraft some AI limiters. I should set up a factory for it, but I didn't. And that'll be a future episode. So yeah, we're just going to drop a bunch of smart splitters around the outside of this. Okay, well you can see I made the mistake here. So when you're going around in a circle like I'm doing, they will rotate directions on you, which is really annoying. So you have to be careful that your orange line is the correct way, and then you can continue. If you're doing this in a straight line, it's not going to do that to you, but since I'm going in a circle, it is going to do that to me, which is very aggravating sometimes. And there we go. So that's all the smart splitters I can build right now. We'll leave it as is. And then what we're going to need is mergers. So we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to set it on the outside lane. But I have to be careful here because I actually need to make sure they're facing the right way. Since I have it, this foundation is dictating which way the merger goes. I'm actually going to start here and I'm going to nudge it over. And we'll kind of go on the inside line here. So we got to be careful there too, because it's going to try to not do what I want it to do. But after I get outside of that boundary, I shouldn't have any issues anymore. And I missed. And we'll set out mergers along the entire outside ring. And I'm being careful so that everything follows the same path as the smart splitters. Alright, so we got a line of smart splitters, we got a line of mergers. This is perfect. So now all we need to do is connect everything up. And then we have to set every smart splitter to what we want it to be. So I'm going to use Mark 4 for now. Once I get Mark 5, I'll switch it to Mark 5. And I'm going to use curved mode. And you just need to connect everything as such. So our smart splitter should be going every direction. And our merger, you'll just ignore the outside. So the outside we don't care about. The inside and the straight line we do. And that's the simplest way to set up a automatic storage system. You can do this with programmable splitters as well, but I don't have access to those right now. And so I'm showing you a way that doesn't require programmable splitters. You can do this with mergers and smart splitters. Okay, so if you set it up like I did and you middle mouse click the smart splitter before you place another one, everything should already be set up for you. And all you have to do is change the item that you want to store. So for this example, I'll do iron rods. Then here, I'll do screws. And then here, I'll do reinforced iron plates. So on and so forth. And this would be rotors. And then modular frames. I like to keep early game stuff with early game stuff. And stuff like that, but you could set this up however you want to. So, like wire, for example. And then cable. And then copper sheet. And then we might as well just do some quick wire. Can't forget about concrete. So yeah, basically just go around in a circle and put in what you want to put in. So for example, maybe here I'll do AI limiter. Even though I'm not building them, I can set it up for it. It doesn't matter. Oh, my apologies. So this was a mistake on my part. We don't want the center output to say any. We want it to say any undefined. I forgot about that part. So center output needs to be any undefined, because we want iron rods to only go to the right and we want overflow only go to the left. Everything else that's not defined in these two categories will go straight. So my apologies, I should have said that from the beginning. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, any undefined, center, output. Alright, so I got everything set up here. So like motors here, for example, we can do quartz crystals, computers, plastic. Yeah, we got all examples. I actually have one open. I don't have this one filled out. The only thing I don't include is space elevator parts, because I don't need them for building. And I technically don't need to include stators, but I just do anyways. Might as well. So with all that, at the end of it, when you merge all the output lines together, at the end of it you need a sink. So we'll actually go up a floor and we'll figure out where we want to put the sink. So there we go. And then what we should be doing, and I don't have the merger line set up, but let me set that up real quick. Alright, so I'm at the end here. So this is the beginning here. That's the iron plates. I'm at the end. What I like to do is I usually like to have some overflow or like undefined items. So maybe like, I don't know, my gas mask accidentally, like my gas filter accidentally gets sent into the storage system somehow. Well, it's always nice to ensure that you have some leeway to that. So the way to set that up, and I'm going to set up 4 extra storage. just in case things were to accidentally get put through the sorting system. So at the very last one, you want to set it up where the left and the center are none, and the right is any. So you don't need a merger there. And then the second one, you want to set the left as none, the center as any, and the right as overflow. So we're ensuring that the last one gets filled up first, and then once that's completely filled up, this one then starts getting filled up. So we want to do that same exact setting on all of them, so it'll be any and overflow, and then same here, but this time, so here we'll do the same thing, so it'll be none, any, and overflow. And so we don't need a merger here, here, or here. Now this one's going to play a critical role, so any undefined will go straight forward. So that means anything that we don't have already marked in our sorting system will go into here. And then once this fills up, and once it backs up here, it will now be considered overflow. I hope we never get to that point, but that's how it's going to work. So now all I have to do is connect all the belts, but I might as well show you the end here. So we're going to take a conveyor lift 4, or whatever maximum conveyor belt you have, and then we just connect it to the end. And then we got to make sure this is powered. So don't forget that step. Power is the most important step. I'm just going to connect it here because we're already here. We'll just do this and then that. So now we're powered. Our elevator powers this. So the only thing I got left to do is connect all the belts to the smart splitters and stuff. I have the whole system set up, so it should look, if you did a circular, it should look similar to this. If you did it straight, not a big deal. Just make sure that your smart splitter is sending your items the right direction. So yeah, all I have to do is connect all this up, and we'll actually be done. Alrighty, there we go. The whole system is put together. So for us to test this, I don't have trucks set up to go and collect everything, but we can still test this. So let's go down to our truck storage system here. And the output is there, so let's get ourselves an industrial storage container. Now just in case we have some overflow of maybe 2 trucks coming in at the same time, we can set up belts like this so we can double the output from the truck station so this doesn't get completely filled up. And then from here, we want to find out a good place to actually go in. So we'll just kind of have that for now. Doesn't actually matter what we do. I could refine this later, but for now we'll just test it. So we do have quite a bit of things we could test. So I could just throw in whatever I have in my inventory and that'll work fine. So let's toss in computers, crystal oscillators, these, those. Yeah, let's just toss in just about everything. And then we'll see that it does indeed work. So now we just wait for the system to clean itself out, and everything will be basically done. So that's how this works. It's a really cool system. If you haven't set one up before, I recommend it. This sorts all of your items, and what I did is I also put in just a little belt on the front so you can see exactly what got sorted. So we'll know which ones actually have items in it just by the fact that it's got items sitting on the belt. So yeah, this is pretty good. There is one more thing I tend to like to do. So if we look up here, we'll have 4 iron plates. Oh, everything's sorted, perfect. What I do at the very end here is I'll throw a dimensional depot on the top. And then I'll throw a Mark III, since that's the fastest we can upload it anyways. And I'll just send it to the dimensional depot. You don't have to do anything. This sorts it for you, and it dimensional depots it for you. I did double storage just because I know sometimes I do massive projects and I use a lot of materials. So I like to have extra materials on hand. But yeah, that is the storage system, the smart storage system, auto storage system, whatever you want to call it. The only thing we got left to do is set up our truck routes to go and pick up items throughout our world. And we can actually have this storage system working for us now. So that's it for this episode. I'm probably going to paint all of this so it's yellow and orange. And yeah, in the next episode, we'll do how to set up trucks.